This week on the Weekly Pinch from Pinch News.
Negro Leagues Baseball Museum admission-free All Black History Month.
We are lucky in Kansas City to have this asset in Kansas City. It's the only museum in the world dedicated to telling the unique story of the Negro Leagues, and we want to make sure that more people have the opportunity to learn that story.
Dallas food truck receives backlash after failing to split $4,000 tip left by Keith Lee. TikTok loses major artist's music as UMG decides to pull its music from the social platform.
Are we going to educate the future members of the House and the Senate and the leaders of IBM? Or are we going to educate a group of young men and women who are just caught up in a rhetoric of oppressor and oppressee, and this is not fair, and frankly, just like whiny snowflakes? Like, where are we going with education in elite schools in America?
Harvard $500 million megadonor Ken Griffin halts donation, claims elite schools produce whiny snowflakes.
I really want to be back on television.
You're going to be back on TV. That's easy.
My mom has done a great job making it seem like everything is okay always.
Wendy, make sure you look here. 1, 2, 3.
But in reality, there's something wrong going on.
Wendy set to return to TV with two-part documentary, Where's Wendy Williams?
So right now, we are about to give away $1 million to everybody at Thornton Township that qualifies. Keyword qualified.
Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard announces $1 million giveaway.
Homeownership is within reach for Gen Z and millennials thanks to $30,000 tiny homes on Amazon. To kick off Black History Month, the Kansas City Royals announced earlier this week that admission would be free for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum all month in honor of Black History Month. The Negro Leagues had major talent like Satchel Paige, Jackie Robinson, John Buck O'Neill, Hool Papa Bell, and more. Mr. O'Neill actually helped open the original small one-room NLBM in 1991. Then in 1997, he helped open the now 10,000 square feet museum that is located in the historic Vine District in Kansas City. In the 1900s, baseball was America's favorite pastime activity. However, due to Jim Crow laws and racism, black players were not allowed to play in Major League Baseball. The Negro League started at the Paseo YMCA in Kansas City in 1920 by Andrew Rube Foster and other peers who were kept out of the MLB. The Negro League was so popular that black churches would adjust their service time so that people could attend the games. The popularity of the Negro Leagues baseball was booming through the 1940s until the integration of black players into the major leagues in the mid-1940s. According to the MLB website, the first commissioner of the league, Kennesaw Mountain Landis, was one of the main factors keeping black players out of MLB, and his death in 1944 helped open new doors for black players. Jackie Robinson is the first African-American baseball player to play in Major League Baseball and integrate the league. Robinson received an offer from the Kansas City Monarchs while playing in college in 1945. The movie 42 highlights Robinson's integration and the abuse, both mentally and physically, he and his family went through as he pushed to break the color barrier on and off the field. He would not be allowed to stay in the same hotels as his white counterparts or eat where they ate at. Robinson endured a lot but changed history forever. He signed with the Brooklyn Dodgers and made his National League debut on April 15, 1947, and was the Dodgers' first baseman. Robinson made the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1962 and was able to enjoy his Hoff career before passing in 1972. April 15th is now recognized as Jackie Robinson Day in the MLB, and all players, umpires wear 42 to honor of Robinson's debut.
Food influencer Keith Lee is at the center of controversy after his $4,000 tip intended for employees at Sweetly Seasoned, a Dallas food truck, wasn't distributed as he instructed. Lee requested that $1,000 be given to the barber for free haircuts, $1,000 for the braider to braid hair, and $2,000 for the food. However, the food truck's owner decided to keep the entire tip. The incident has sparked backlash on social media, with the food truck receiving 1-star reviews. Some online users accidentally targeted another company named Seasoned Street Food. Owner, Jonathan Evola, shared how he had been considering shutting down the business and changing its name due to the negative impact on his business's reputation. He stated, "We live and die by our reviews, and a 1-star review is damaging." Lee has since taken to social media to explain his side of the story. Universal Music Group, UMG, has initiated the removal of music catalogs from performers it represents, such as Taylor Swift, Drake, and Olivia Rodrigo, from TikTok after failing to reach an agreement to renew licensing agreements. The previous licensing deal between UMG and TikTok expired on January 31st. UMG accused TikTok of pressuring it into accepting an unfavorable deal, citing concerns about fair compensation for artists, protections against AI-generated music, and online safety. TikTok responded by expressing disappointment and accusing UMG of prioritizing its greed over the interests of artists and songwriters. As a result, UMG-owned music on TikTok will be muted, and users will need to choose alternative tracks from other labels.
Are you still supporting Harvard financially?
No. And I'd like that to change, and I've made that clear to members of the corporate board, but until Harvard makes it very clear that they're going to resume their role as educating young American men and women to be leaders, to be problem solvers, to take on difficult issues, I'm not interested in supporting the institution.
Hedge fund billionaire Ken Griffin, a major donor to Harvard University with over $500 million in contributions, has halted further donations and criticized elite schools for producing what he called whiny snowflakes. Griffin expressed frustration with the state of American universities and cited concerns about diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) policies. He emphasized that he will not support Harvard until the institution reaffirms its commitment to educating future leaders and addresses what he perceives as issues with DEI agendas. Griffin's decision joins a growing trend of wealthy donors withholding contributions from Ivy League schools. Other major Harvard donors, including Leslie Wexner and Len Blavatnik, have also stopped their donations. Talk show host Wendy Williams has ended her 6-month social media hiatus and shared a photo on Instagram after the release of the trailer for her upcoming 2-part documentary, Where is Wendy Williams? Part 1 of the documentary, set to premiere on Lifetime on February 24th, will delve into Williams's life as she grapples with substance abuse issues and financial strain. The trailer reveals her admission of having no money and showcases her son and manager expressing concerns about her alcoholism. Williams's podcast, The Wendy Experience, which was initially rumored to be canceled, may still be part of her upcoming projects. Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is facing new scrutiny amid complaints and concerns about extravagant spending, particularly on expensive out-of-state trips, first-class travel, and stays at 5-star hotels. Residents are puzzled by a recent Facebook post in which Henyard announced a $1 million giveaway, with no clarity on the nature of the giveaway. Village trustees are raising concerns about crime in the South suburban community, especially after a recent shootout near Minerva Avenue and Sibley Boulevard. Some trustees express worries about police staffing and question the mayor's considerable police security detail, including multiple squad vehicles and unmarked SUVs. There are calls for prioritizing community safety and allocating resources to combat crime. Community leaders and pastors are demanding solutions and investments to address gun violence in Dolton and the south suburbs. According to Chicago's WGN-9, there has been no response from the mayor or police chief regarding the recent shootout.
The American dream is to own a home, but for many millennials and Gen Z, the dream seems out of reach. A housing shortage and higher mortgage rates have kept home prices uncomfortably high. However, some millennials and Gen Z are taking a non-traditional route and seeking home buying alternatives. One creative avenue is the Amazon Tiny Home, which can be purchased for as little as $18,000. The tiny home comes with a living room, bedroom, and kitchenette. The bathroom has a pre-installed toilet and shower. Obtaining home ownership through Amazon is picking up steam as viral YouTubers and TikTokers jump on the trend.
That wraps up all of the news from the Weekly Pinch. Tune in next week for more. In the meantime, visit us online at www.pinchnews.com.